This is a reading for Taurus. I'm going to be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Ooh, that was big. This is for Taurus. I'm going to pull 2 Oracle cards. And probably just 4 tarot cards. The tarot card deck that I'm going to use is the Korean tarot card, The Secret of the Kingdom. I know that wasn't meant for me, but Regeneration just came out. There you go, Taurus. It's 1. Number 46. 4 plus 6 is 10. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So either you're looking at a 46 or the number 1. I have to look that up in numerology because I have not branched out that far yet. Can't help you right there. Could probably get started. Exchanging gifts look like they wanted to pop. Never ending story. I don't know if I should take that like that because it didn't really flip out. And I don't really know if it's because my hands are dry. What the deal might be. But if another one doesn't pop soon, I'm going to just go with the 2 that I have down here. Take these 3. All right. The Fates. Never ending story. And regeneration. Okay, Taurus. Never ending story again is 37. 7 and 3 is 10 again, and it reduces to 1. 17 is the Fates. 7 plus 1 is 8. 118. I would have tripped out if it had come out to 111. Then I'd be like, well, I guess I better go study some numerology. I can understand what that means. But, okay. The Wisdom of the Oracle Regeneration is number 46 here. Nothing is immediately coming to mind. I did have a thought right before I got started, but I forgot what it was. So hopefully it'll come back to mind. This is a rebirth. Second chances and new opportunities, Taurus. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. There's also a relationship message, a prosperity message, a protection message. For some reason I'm drawn to this protection one. It says endings come in many forms, and now is the time to stop holding on to what must die. So that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. All right, Taurus. Let it go. Something better is coming in its place, or at least something new. Because I don't know what type of ending you're about to experience or experience in. Rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now. Oh, this is something that you thought was dead and gone and over with is back in full force and available for you. And maybe you have to let go of something else to get this. Never ending story. That's your other number 1 or 37. Depends on how you want to look at it. I would take a look at both numbers. Alright. Essential meanings, self-criticism, wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas. Not you, Taurus. You're a drama queen, king, person. No, you don't come with the dramas. She does it like she's saying, ugh. She's a fairy. When my kids were younger, they used to watch the little Tinkerbell movies. I used to think, wow, she's got so much fire. Tinkerbell has so much fire in her. She's bad. And feisty. And it looks like to me she would be so frustrated if you just kept making poor decisions. And maybe that's what this is. It's a never-ending story of poor decision making, or by you or by the person, that you're thinking of. And maybe you just, God, this is always the same with you. It's just never ending. It's always a cycle. Oh my Lord. I just said that in a short the other day, and I think you were one of the signs that came to mind. It's just cyclical. It's never ending. It's always, I want to say always something, but it's always the same something. Ooh. All right. There's a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary drama. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky's not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, and it wants to protect you and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. Sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other, more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is. Right now, you have an opportunity for important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old ones. You got me about to cry here. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all those narratives. None of them were ever true anyway. You were afraid of something. You were afraid of closeness because closeness in your history, whether that's your personal history or your family history, has always ended negatively. I keep hearing it always ended in divorce or hurt, abandonment, that's in here. Um, Self-loathing and arrogance, rejection, humiliation. But what this is saying is you need to know that maybe that was true for those folks. It's just not true for you. But that's how you've lived your life. Being too afraid to invest in the same way that they did and then end up in the same position. It's fear-based. That's what I'm hearing. So it's not true. Some of the worst decisions I've ever made were made in fear. So just take that little nugget and do what you must with it. But don't make decisions out of fear. And their truth is not necessarily yours. It's not going to necessarily end up the same for you. And I don't know who the they is, only you know. That's for you to think about. But all right, and then the fates. It's a cute card, isn't it? That's another fairy also. See, she's got wings. This fairy is all wrapped up with herself and pleased. She's not looking frustrated like the other one, so her fate must have been positive. Maybe once you get past this thought process, this is how you're going to start feeling. So let's look at it. Fate, karma, acceptance, that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. You cannot change how those examples that were set in front of you, how they ended up, but it's not your story. That's what I'm getting for you, Taurus. And we're getting everything here because I feel like I said a mouthful. But okay, the Serenity Prayer. Ooh. The Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. And I'm going to say it to you. And then I'm going to move on to your tarot cards because this is powerful. And here comes Leo. Sorry. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. These are the things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on, and I'm crying, the conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. Okay, I'm going to just pause real quick.